Hey there, Saki here from Saki Tech, and in today's video we will be doing a full comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus versus the iPhone XS Max. Both of these smartphones are the current flagship offerings from two of the biggest rivals in the smartphone industry. As such, people naturally are asking questions. Questions such as, is the iPhone XS Max a better smartphone than the Galaxy S10 Plus? Or is the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus better than the iPhone XS Max? And the most direct request of all is, just tell me which one is better. And in this video, that's exactly what we are going to tell you by doing a full side-by-side comparison of every aspect of these smartphones. So if you want a crystal clear response, keep watching, and let's start with the build and design. Now before we dive in, if you find my videos useful, make sure to click that subscribe button and also make sure to click that bell icon on the side to get notified every time I upload a new video. And of course, if you do use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, make sure to follow me on all at SakiTech Online, also for the latest updates. Alright, let's dive in. So both the iPhone and the S10 have a similar build quality. Front and back, you will find glass on both smartphones with a solid metal band around the edges. This makes for a high-end build, therefore both smartphones feel like $1 million when you hold them in your hands. When you move on to the design is where things differ. They both have massive frontal displays and they both look gorgeous. S10 has a large and tall display that dominates the screen, leaving tiny bezels on all four sides with an oval cutout on the top right that houses the front cameras. The iPhone also strives to fill the entire front with a screen and comes with a large notch on the top that houses the front camera and the Face ID system. You will observe that the bezels on the top and the side of the S10 are actually thinner than the iPhone. All in all, I must say that the design is a subjective choice, but in my opinion, S10 pulls ahead. It seems more clean in overall presentation from the front. This lead could have been avoided if iPhone had somehow eliminated that notch on the top. In my opinion, the oval cutout on the S10 is a better option than a notch, as it is less intrusive while watching full screen movies, as I will show you very soon. On the other hand, some people might prefer the symmetry of the notch over a right oval cutout. Now both smartphones come with water resistance with the exact same water resistance rating of IP68. Rest assured, both phones can easily handle a rainy day or an accidental drop into a puddle of water. Both smartphones offer high-quality stereo speakers that produce a loud, deep, and rich sound, perfect for watching movies and videos. S10 does take a lead in audio options by offering a 3.5mm headphone jack, while the iPhone does not. So to summarize, S10 certainly has a lead in this category. It does have a 3.5mm headphone jack and a cleaner look overall, even though the build is equally well done on both smartphones, giving the end user a premium in-hand feel. Now let's move on to the processor, memory, and storage. The iPhone sports a powerful A12 Bionic processor with 4GB of RAM and can be acquired with 64GB of storage for the base model, with available 256 or 512GB of storage options. Starting price for the Max is $1,100. The Galaxy S10 also sports a powerful Snapdragon 855 CPU or an Exynos 9820 variant in non-US markets with 8GB of RAM and can be acquired with 128GB of storage for the base model, with available 512 or even 1TB storage options. Starting price for the S10 Plus comes in at a lower price point of $1,000. In the storage race, S10 Plus pulls ahead. It has a higher 128GB storage for a lower price and has a microSD expansion slot, so you can add an additional 512 gigs of extra storage on the S10 if needed. Now if we move on to the benchmarks, it is clear that the iPhone has more raw horsepower than the S10. This time around, the lead is not groundbreaking and the real-world performance of both smartphones is rock solid with swift user experience. So the iPhone certainly wins in terms of processing power, but the S10 Plus has a more meaningful lead as you get more storage for less price and the ability to expand that storage if needed. Now let's move on and talk about the dimensions. So as you can see, both smartphones have similar dimensions overall, but in this day and age, dimensions and weight don't seem to have much of an influence on buying decisions. They're mostly in the same ballpark. So let's move on to a much more important category, the display. The iPhone XS Max has a 6.5-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 1242 by 2688 with 458 pixels per inches. The S10 Plus has a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440 by 3040 with 522 pixels per inches. Both smartphones support HDR10, however the S10 does support the latest HDR10 Plus standard. Both of these smartphones have fantastic displays that look stunning from every angle. They're not dull, they're very vibrant. The S10 has a sharp and clear display which is highly color accurate, and of course the iPhone is sharp and clear as well, also offering exceptional color accuracy. Overall, I cannot recommend one over the other as they both look very clean and crispy. Only thing I will say is that it feels more immersive to watch movies or play games in full screen on the S10 as opposed to the iPhone, because the large notch seems to bite into the video from the left side, while the smaller oval cutout seems to be less intrusive, hanging out on the side. In this category, the S10 has a slight lead due to HDR10 Plus compatibility. Otherwise, you get top-notch, large and high-quality displays either way, so unless you simply do not prefer the notch, this category shouldn't influence your buying decision too much. Let's move on and talk about the software. When it comes to software, it really is going to be a matter of preference. With Samsung, you get the latest version of Android that allows for a customizable experience so you can tweak your smartphone to your own sense of style by using things like widgets and themes. On top of themes and widgets, you're able to access special features like the Edge screen, which is a side screen that allows you to add even more widgets of your choice available at a swipe, and every single area is fully customizable. iPhone's iOS is a more limited system, yet feels more polished and has a superior app ecosystem. Especially when it comes to gaming apps, iPhone will deliver beyond Samsung simply because the Apple App Store has better games which run smoother than their Android counterparts. That's not to say Android doesn't have any good games, it does, but iPhone performs better when it comes to games. That's really what it's all about in regards to software: an open-ended customizable experience versus a closed-ended app-driven experience. Both systems deliver in their own world. Which one to choose remains with the end user. So the Galaxy S10 has 3 rear cameras and 2 front-facing cameras. That's total 5 cameras. While the iPhone XS Max has 2 rear cameras and 1 front-facing camera. That's a total of 3 cameras. I don't really care about the front-facing cameras too much, since either smartphone will deliver if your objective is to take selfies or do video conferencing. However, on the rear, the Galaxy S10 offers 1 extra camera, which is a super wide-angle camera. The other 2 cameras are similar on the iPhone and the S10. One of them is a standard wide-angle that most people use all the time, and the second one is a telephoto camera for zooming in. Quality-wise, either smartphone delivers a flagship experience, and unless you are a professional photographer or a scientist, you will be pleased by either camera setup as an average consumer. But the third camera on the S10 does bring a very impressive option to the table. The super wide-angle lens takes truly stunning photos of the environment around you by capturing more of what you see because it has a wider viewing angle, much like the human eye. When it comes to video, both smartphones offer 4K recording at 30 or 60 frames per second or 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second. However, the S10 has 2 advantages. It offers 960 frames per second slow motion video for super slow motion shots over the maximum 240 frames per second the iPhone offers. S10 also offers a super steady video stabilization, which does an incredible job of stabilizing video and reducing camera shake, especially when you're on the move. So as a total package, the S10 takes a big lead here. You do get a 1 extra rear camera. You also get an extra front-facing camera and also additional video recording features that we mentioned. Again, for the average consumer, either camera will yield great quality photos, but anyone looking for extra options will find the S10 a more versatile option. Now let's move on and talk about the battery. In the battery department, both phones yield similar results. Overall, you get a full day of battery life with medium to heavy use on both smartphones. Both the iPhone and the S10 offer wireless charging using the same standard, which is fantastic. S10 also has fast wired charging out of the box with the included charging adapter. However, the iPhone Max will require you to purchase the fast charging compatible wall adapter if you wish to utilize the fast charging option. Additionally, the S10 now offers wireless power share, which allows you to charge other smartphones as well as compatible accessories such as wireless earbuds and smartwatches using the back of your S10. So the S10 definitely has the lead in the battery and battery features department. Now let's quickly talk about the biometrics and security. The iPhone XS Max offers a powerful Face ID system that uses your face to unlock it. It is fast, convenient, and secure. The S10, on the other hand, brings the much desired in-display fingerprint sensor that also works flawlessly and has a special futuristic appeal since it is built under the display. This is mostly a matter of choice since both systems work great, but Samsung does get extra points for having it under the display without sacrificing screen real estate. Now let's move on and talk about a conclusion. Which phone is better? Which one should you get? So it is clear that both smartphones offer value, but one of them is in a clear lead. Let's talk about what the S10 has first over the iPhone. So the S10 retains the headphone jack. It comes with a minimum of 128 gigabytes of storage. In my opinion, has a cleaner design overall. Also brings back the much coveted frontal fingerprint sensor, which happens to be hidden under the display and gives you additional features both for photos and videos. And finally, it offers the wireless power share feature. On the flip side, the iPhone only has one advantage that is superior to the S10. It has a faster processor. Otherwise, they both have wireless charging, they got the same IP68 grade water resistance, and as for the display, they both offer massive and top-notch displays. So basically looking at all the metrics and seeing how the S10 has more technological advantages and features over the iPhone, it is easy to conclude that the S10 is the better smartphone. In addition to being a better smartphone overall, it also is $100 cheaper than the iPhone. So if someone just simply asks me the question which one is better or which one shall I buy if I had $1,000, then I'm compelled to say the S10 based on facts. At this point, iPhone can only be recommended if you want to be part of a solid ecosystem, which means you just want to own Apple products and want the iPhone to fall inside that ecosystem, which is fine. But as a standalone phone, S10 is a few steps ahead and it's more value for the money. And that brings me to the end of this video, so let me know down below which one you prefer and why, and whether or not you agree with my conclusion. Alright, so make sure to subscribe to Saki Tech, give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you do use Twitter or Instagram, make sure to follow me on all at Saki Tech Online. For now, have a fantastic day. Alright, so if you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe to Saki Tech by clicking that button, and also click that bell icon on the side to make sure you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you do use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, you can follow me at Saki Tech Online to get the latest updates as well. Alright, have a fantastic day.